Hello, pipe smokers. Mark the Pipe Poet here. Enjoying my pipe after a very stressful and mind-broadening 4 hours, 5 hours. As you can tell by the title, I did go to jail. For a tour, of course. Sorry if I alarmed each and every single one of you out there, but no, what I did today was I went on a tour to my county jail and a more maximum security type jail that was just in a different county, just to, I'd have to say, maybe 40 miles from where I live. Not too certain about that, don't hold me on that, but yes, my corrections class went today. We went to those jails, and it just proves, it proves a lot to somebody coming from the outside and going in. It's quite surprising. It is. The county jail was nothing like the maximum security jail. And I found each of those jails had something that was very remarkable about each. My county jail, the local county jail, actually has no yard that the inmates can go to and, do recreational things. Everything's enclosed. The only thing that you have is tinted windows, and the detective, which gave us the tour today, said that that is the inmates' winter, spring, summer, and fall. That is their 4 seasons. That is the only change of the seasons that they see, is that light coming in. And they don't know if it is winter, spring, summer, or fall. And it was quite interesting to think that, you have to see that. And then we went to the maximum security one. And the thing about it was more fenced in. It had, probably 12-foot tall fences with barbed wire on the top that has electric run through them. And there are buildings placed throughout each. And the maximum security one has libraries and stuff to allow the inmates the chance to better themselves, which is really what corrections is about, a criminal justice system. A lot of people out there say, well, jail is a time for reflection, or, they shouldn't have libraries or anything like that in jail. But you realize when you step into this place how significant those libraries, how those books must open a window to their minds, make them realize, wow, a book is my only sense of escape. Whereas out there, you have many different distractions. And honestly, from an outsider going in, it makes you appreciate a lot more the comforts that you have. Are our jails perfect? No, they're far from perfect. They're one of the best that we've possibly established thus far, but corrections and the jails, they're constantly changing with the times, and you have to, or else, the riots and the overthrows will ensue and continue if you don't. And I mean, from where the correction officers stood, from their standpoint of view, there's a lot of services to help people get their diplomas, their GEDs, their second chances. But, of course, many of you are probably saying out there right now, well, then how come these same people keep going back to these jails? Well, they can't straighten out their lives once, then why do they keep going back? Well, there are many premeditating factors that go along with that. Sometimes they don't have a place to stay, so they will commit a crime to stay warm through the winter, which is what a lot of the inmates were doing. Some of them were drug users and dealers. And then you have your more serious crimes like pedophilia, murder, rape. Surprisingly enough, the one that I found most interesting was sexism. That is technically a crime in the state of Pennsylvania. And you can be charged for it, which I think's right. If women can fight to save our country, if women have earned the right to vote, if women have actually helped the war efforts both in World War II and Vietnam, and so, I mean, I think it's time for America to wake up and realize, listen, this is 2015, not, 1950. They're not all secretaries now. Women do have a place in this world. So, sexism, that was a very interesting crime that I saw there, inmate housed in there. And, yeah. 54% were white, 44 were African American, I think 3.4 were Hispanic, and then I think it was like 0.3 that were other, or something like that. Of course, it does get you thinking about what the world is coming to. But then again, it fills me with a sense of pride that we have such people like our police officers, our correction officers, our agents and whatnot, our detectives, that actually keep us safe from these people. So today I would like to raise my pipe to them and give them all a shout out, because they are truly the ones that keep us safe when we're out there. And that is the thing that the law was designed for. To keep those from being wronged. And that if others were caught doing wrong, that they would be reprehended and punished in a civilized an effective manner, which is where most people in this country sometimes miss that mark by a long shot. Of course, I'm not saying some of our more experienced people out there in this world have necessarily a tight grasp on that, but it's like I said, with the changing times, circumstances change. And the inmates, believe it or not, the police will tell you this, and they told us right there in that courthouse, they have rights too. They are human beings, the same as you or I. And that's spot on. That is correct. But it makes me appreciate things more. To see nothing but concrete walls, brick walls all day. Not being able to release your mind. There's no mental stimulation. Excuse me, it's just a very dark, drab place. Avoid the prisons and jails like the plague, ladies and gentlemen. But if you do get the chance to take a tour of one, I highly recommend it. Your mind will be blown. Considering that it rained today, that only added to the ambience and set the mood of what exactly a jail was like. But there was an interesting thing that they're practicing here in Pennsylvania. Inmates are allowed to have dogs, and they can train the dog and take care of the dog, and then up to a certain time, they take their dog, adopt them out, and then they get new dogs. And it's supposed to teach the inmates responsibility and caring for another life. And that has such an astounding effect on the inmates. It's actually cut down riots and fights within the jails, within the prisons. I don't know, possibly 60%. It's just fascinating. It's quite interesting what they're doing. So, but anyhow, that was my day. I'll probably have another video up for you today, discussing a different topic, but for right now, I'm just going to relax. And I'll see you in an hour.